Welcome to the end of the garden here in 2024, here at the house. So you can see the layers of texture here in the garden. Sorry for the equipment next door, but they're cutting the lawns. 8 o'clock starts and on goes the machines. But you look at the layers and the texture and the colors. It's absolutely spectacular. I've been up early watching a show about Italy and palaces and thinking about the history and so many of the properties. And it makes you realize that everything is just here for a moment. You create and cultivate a beautiful surrounding, and somebody else is going to come in and change it. So you need to enjoy what you've created. You need to take that time to pause and appreciate how gorgeous this really truly all is. Over here you can see we've actually started to disassemble a lot of the structures that we had here. So we've got a rosemary that will be coming in. We've got some elephant ears that are going to be repotted. Inside the house we already have an entire tray of all of our succulents. And then over here we've got our strawberries that need to be planted, as well as our fountain, just bringing some beautiful sound of water as we sort of end off the season. You can see we've started to deconstruct, taking all the feet in from the various pots. I have frogs, true frogs, as frog feet, and then some of our obelisks that mean welcome, and some of the other pots that are just really on their last days. Today's the day that we'll be bringing in our geraniums. Not this particular kind. This kind here has got a waxy leaf and doesn't seem to preserve as well as this variety over here, which is more your traditional variety that has a nice furry leaf. They will overwinter really well. You can see that's a beautiful flower. Unfortunately, it doesn't overwinter, but we will test it. But this particular beautiful one will overwinter. So we'll test it, but I've had zero luck with doing the trailing waxy leaf one, so I may just try a cutting instead. And we also did a cutting of the mandevilla here, which is still blooming and will bloom here typically until November. And you can see down here at the bottom we still have a pretty good looking petunia, the Vista series petunia, doing really well because that one actually got watered. But you can see over here, while I had a dear loved one in the hospital, that one didn't get watered, and this one's not doing so hot, but still looking pretty good if you ask me. I'm pretty delighted with the layers upon layers. On the weekend we took out the peppers and the eggplants and the tomatoes, and we are going to be planting all of our garlic and getting that ready for next year. I've already planned out the garden for 2025. I have to do that far in advance so I know how the garlic will play with the sunlight and secondary planting, so that's kind of fun to do. Anyways, just thought I'd share a quick moment here in the garden and let you know how it's looking. Haven't shared much lately. Been preoccupied with my dear loved one in the hospital who sadly passed away, and definitely will miss her. Looking forward to being able to share more garden content as the year goes on, and I hope that all of you have had a splendid time in your own gardens, and if not your garden, that you've been able to either visit some of the magnificent ones that are available for public consumption, or that you've been invited into a couple of other private gardens. Take care, everyone.